Starting seeds indoors. Growers will learn which crops to start indoors and how to grow the seeds successfully by Terry Allen, Cecilia Lapp-Stoltzfus, and Zoe Orr, IRC, Charlottesville. Start seeds in a greenhouse too. Save money. Seeds cost less than plants. Grow special varieties that are only available as seeds, or use seeds you saved. Extend the growing season. Time your sowing dates to have your seedlings ready to transplant as soon as danger of frost is past. Your large seedlings will have a head start against weeds. Get to market sooner with early planting dates. Use a heat mat for warm season crops. Start your summer crops like tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, basil, chard, and collards in a greenhouse on a heat mat. A heat mat keeps the soil temperature at about 72 degrees Fahrenheit, which is best for germination of warm season crops. Without a heat mat, your seeds will take longer to germinate. Heat mats need electricity and last for many years. Germinate warm season crops on a heat mat. Start cool season crops without a heat mat. You can start lettuce, celery, parsley, kale, onions, and leeks inside, but do not use a heat mat. These cool season crops prefer soil temperatures between 50 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit to germinate. Some seed catalogs list the ideal germination temperature for each crop. Cool season crops can germinate without a heat mat. Direct seed large seeded crops. Plant corn, beans, squash, melons, and cucumbers right in the garden. The roots of these crops grow fast to produce strong, healthy plants. These roots can get damaged by transplanting. Direct seeding is faster than starting in a greenhouse. You need only seeds. You save money because you don't have to buy soil or trays. See our series on direct seeding outdoors for more information. Large seeded crops are easy to plant directly in the garden. Direct seed root crops. Root crops like beets, radishes, and carrots do not like to start indoors. The roots of these crops can be damaged if planted in greenhouse trays. Plant these seeds outside in the garden. Root crops grow close together, and you must plant many seeds so it is faster to direct seed than to transplant. Plant root crops directly in the garden. You will need these supplies to start your seeds. Seed starting oil, vermiculite, seeding trays, seeds, labels, masking tape, permanent marker or pencil, heat mat, watering can or hose. Read the seed packet. The seed packet has helpful information like how deep to bury seeds, plant spacing in the garden, and when to start. You can also find this information in seed catalogs, gardening books, and online. Most seed packets have planting information on the back. When to plant. Most seedlings need to grow for 4 to 6 weeks in the greenhouse before you transplant them outside. Find out your frost dates. Ask an experienced local gardener or search online for frost dates by zip code. Count 4 to 6 weeks backward from your last spring frost date. That is the date you start seeds in the greenhouse. Last frost map from Midwestern Regional Climate Center. Choose a seedling tray. Seedling trays have different cell sizes and shapes. Choose the right tray for your crop. Use large, deep cell trays for fast-growing plants with large roots like tomatoes. Use medium-sized cell trays for most crops. Use shallow slot trays to germinate a lot of seeds at once. Move seedlings to larger pots in a few weeks. Many different size seed starting trays and pots. Labeling is important. Put masking tape on one edge of the tray for a label. The tray must be clean and dry for the tape to stick. Later, you will use a pencil or permanent marker pen to write crop name, variety, name, supplier, and date. Add grower name if more than one farmer uses the greenhouse. This information will help you with record keeping, organization, and transplant planning. Use masking tape to label a seed starting tray. Fill the tray with soil mix. Make sure each cell is filled to the top. Then lift the tray with a few inches above the table and drop it to gently settle the soil into the cells. Add more soil if needed. Fill to the top of the tray. Too much water can stay in the cells when the soil is below the top level and cause algae to grow. Steps showing how to fill a seed starting tray with soil mix. Make a stick label for each crop variety you are planting. You can fit more details on a stick when you plant more than one variety in the tray. Also write the information on the masking tape. Include crop, variety name, supplier name, and date on the masking tape. Write your name if you share the greenhouse. Use only pencil or permanent marker. All other ink will wash off. Write information on a stick label as well as on the tape. How deep to plant? Check the seed packet to see how deep to plant the seed. Use your fingers to make small dents in each cell. Small seeds need shallow dents, about 1/4 to 1/2 inch deep. Large seeds need deeper dents, about 1/2 to 1 inch deep. The dents keep the seeds from floating away when you water the tray. Make shallow dents in each cell to set the seed at the proper depth. Put only 1 or 2 seeds in each cell. If the seed is new and expensive, put just 1 seed per cell. If the seed is old or has a low germination rate, put 2 seeds per cell. Ideally, you want just 1 plant per cell so that each seedling can grow big and strong. If you put too many seeds in a cell, you can thin them later, but it takes time and wastes your seeds. You can use a seed dial tool to make it easier to handle small seeds. Cover the seeds. Cover the seeds with vermiculite or soil mix. Vermiculite holds water better to help keep the seeds moist until they sprout. Press the covered layer gently into the cells. Some seeds need light to germinate. Check the seed packet for this information. Do not cover these seeds. Use vermiculite to cover seeds in a seed starting tray. Put your tray in the right place. Place your completed tray on a heat mat if the seeds like warm soil to sprout. Place trays of cool season crops on a greenhouse table, not on a heat mat. If you plant more than one crop in a tray, make sure all of them germinate at a similar soil temperature. Seedling tray on a heap. Water gently. Be careful not to wash the seeds away. Both vermiculite and soil mix are lightweight and may float until they are wet. Use a Mr. Hose nozzle setting for the first watering. Trays on heat mats will dry out quicker than other trays. They might need water more often. Take the tray off the heat mat a day or two after the seeds germinate. Place it on an unheated table in the greenhouse. Use a watering can to water the seed tray. Keep the trays evenly moist until the seeds sprout. You may have to water more than once a day if the weather is sunny. The seeds are just below the surface of the soil. Do not let the trays dry out on the surface until the seeds have sprouted. The seedlings could die if they dry out when they send their first tiny roots and leaves out of the seed. Lettuce seeds on the first day they sprouted. Keep detailed records. Keep a record of your greenhouse plantings to help with crop planning. Include crop variety, supplier, seed sowing date, germination date, percent germination rate, transplant date. Make notes on any problems like bad germination. Over time, you will learn which seed suppliers are best. Record keeping is important for a successful farm. What's next? See our additional series on greenhouse management to learn how to take care of your seedlings until transplant time. Watering a greenhouse full of healthy seed trays. Comprehension questions. 1. Which seeds will you plant indoors? 2. Which seeds need a heat mat? 3. How many seeds will you plant in each cell? Acknowledgements. Funded by the Office for Partnerships and Public Engagement at the USDA. Text and photos by the International Rescue Committee in Charlottesville, Virginia. Edited and produced by ISED Solutions. Protected by Creative Commons license.